Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Plunder, issue 1 of 4. It's a 4-part miniseries, and yeah, this comic. Before I begin, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that get to actually watch. Read the comic book and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so for those who have yet to actually read this comic and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. Then I will give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, this book, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So the closest thing I could come up with a synopsis for this book is that you have this group of pirates, or it seems to be pirates, um, and they happen to come across this one ship. It seems to be abandoned. And when they go on the ship, they see people who have been killed, and they see this mysterious goo or ooze or liquid all over the ship, and they're trying to figure out what it is, where it came from, and yeah, it's not that good of a comic. This comic sucks ass. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever read a comic this terrible in my life. Oh my gosh. Yeah, normally, when it comes to independent published books, because this book's from Archaea Comics. Normally, when it comes to independent published, there's a double-edged sword. It can either be very good, such as The Walking Dead, or very bad, such as this piece of shit. I mean, yes, that could also happen with Marvel and DC, but for them, it's more consistent. For them, usually it's more good. The only problem is that with Marvel and DC comics, you normally have to start you normally have to read the series from the start, from issue 1. Normally, sometimes there are jumping on points, depending on which comic issue line you're reading, such as the original Amazing Spider-Man run, which is 700 issues long. You can always start from issue 1 from like 1962. Actually, you have to start even before that with Amazing Fantasy number 15. But there were jumping off points throughout, at least twice a year or something like that, in Amazing Spider-Man. When it comes to independent comics, there's all you go normally you could pick up any issue and just jump on. And if anything, if at any time you need to go backtrack, you can always just pick up the trade, because with independent comic books, the trades are usually available. So yeah, and that's what I'm going off on a tangent with independent comics. Normally, independent comics are good. Normally, they're good from what I've read. I mean, there are a few stinkers around there, or some that aren't of my taste. For example, Red City, I thought was an okay comic, but it just wasn't for me. Now, this book, from what I've read, it's not for anybody. It's complete crap. Okay, I'll start with the positives. It's actually got some pretty good artwork. I'm gonna admit there is some pretty decent artwork. It could be better, but it's pretty decent. And something I don't talk about when it comes to comics a lot is the cover stock. So yeah, what does that mean? Basically, what the cover's made out of. I do like what the cover is made out of. It's normally the cover for a comic, or in general, are made out of the regular paper that's found inside the book, right? It's normally made out of like this, the same generic comic book paper. Here, it's a bit more solid. I like the cover stock. I really like it a lot. It's a bit harder, if that makes sense. And yeah, it just feels smoother than a paper does. So yeah, I mean, there are a few comics that the cover stock actually is pretty good. So yeah, the cover stock and the artwork itself is pretty good. Aside from that, it's boring as fuck. It's normally comic books, they intrigue me within the fourth or fifth page. If they haven't intrigued me by then, it's usually boring. There's a lot of pacing issues, because you start off with this big action scene, then you think of it as going to be this pirate action type of comic, then it turns into like a mystery comic, and then to a thriller, back to a mystery, then to an action thriller or something. It's all over the place. It really doesn't know what it wants to be. Um, and yeah, it's trying to be very mysterious, and it's trying to take itself seriously, but it just doesn't. Makes it seem even more boring than it actually is. And overall, it's just a really bad comic, in my opinion. It does have its moments. And even after that, I did say the artwork within it was good, but then there's times where the artwork just is terrible. For example, in this image, with the boy here, that looks terrible in my opinion. And there's things that just happen out of nowhere and for no reason. And it's overall just a terrible book. Oh my gosh, why did I get this? Oh yeah, because it's a #1 and it's a miniseries. That's why. That's normal. When it comes to miniseries, I normally pick up the full run. I mean, I just to now there hasn't been a miniseries which I haven't picked up. I think this is gonna be the first miniseries I'm not gonna pick up at all. Yeah, issue 104 is the only issue I'm gonna have of this. Um, yeah, because I've MPH. I've picked up all of them. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there's 6 issues in it. I currently have issue 5. I'm pretty sure there's only supposed to be 5 issues. I don't know if they're gonna go for 6. Sandman Overture. That's a bi-monthly issue. Whatever. I'm gonna keep picking that up. I've picked up a few other short run-ish comics. This is gonna be the first time I won't, because this was terrible. Yeah, don't pick this up. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give it a 2 out of 10. I'll give it. I mean, the cover stock again was pretty good. I did like the cover stock. As silly as it may sound or whatever, I actually did like the cover stock, and the artwork throughout the comic is tolerable, to say the least. Aside from that, plot all over the place, writing terrible. Um, yeah, who worked on this? Lang, McKinley, and Warday or Wardy or Die. Swifty Lang, Scuds McKinley, Jason Wardy, and Darren Bennett. And Ramon K. Perez, Danielle Sarah, Cara Leopard, Chris Rosa, Rebecca Taylor. Never heard of any of these people, so yeah. What a terrible comic. I think this is a close second to probably Outcast #1, and that's me by Robert Kirkman, aka the creator of The Walking Dead. Close second. Actually, no, I think it is. I think Outcast is a close second to this. I think this is the worst comic I've ever read. Yeah, can I think of an even worse comic than this? And Outcast, because Outcast was pretty bad too. Um, nope, I can't think of anything. Nah. Yeah, what a terrible comic. 2 out of 10. That's basically it for this review. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on this comic book if you've read it, and if not, why not? Actually, if you have read it, why did you read it? And if not, you're lucky. And aside from that, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever you guys prefer. Remember to follow me on Instagram, Daniel Mart. And aside from that, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.